What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to We'll Fix It Team Part 2 video of putting up this antenna. So let me show you where we're at real quick and what I got to do, and hopefully it works out. Here we go. So we got old Truckee. It's going to be part of our ladder system. We're going to stand it up and we're going to make us a bracket that swings the pole down. So we've got to do a little bit of drilling, a little cutting and installing, and I've got some people coming over today to hang out with me, so it's going to be hard to kind of video at the same time because they don't get into this kind of stuff. But what I'll do, I'll show you the finished product and what it took to get there, so that you'll see where we're at. So thank you for tuning in, and here we go. All right, so this is kind of what we've got going on here. You can see that I've made a hinge plate, is what I would call that. And it's got a bolt that runs through that, and then we'll run our cable. Those bricks are kind of keeping my cable in my slot. And I'll move this truck out of the way, and then I'll get my step ladder out, and I think what we'll do a cable. We'll put it on this pole right here somewhere. I'll have to figure out where, and that will lift up the pole with a crank that'll go on the back side of this. We'll get a little bit further and I'll do a more of a vlog, but there'll be a hand crank that'll, just like you've seen on my other tower there, and that'll pick this thing up and down, and we'll see. We may have to do some adjustments because none of this stuff is schematiced out. We just do it in our imagination. All right, here we go. All right, so now we are on point. I want to show you how this thing operates, and pay no mind to my third eye. Not every day a 42-year-old can develop a teenage zit like that right there. So what I'm going to do is set the camera up, and I don't have the antenna mounted yet. We're running out of daylight, but we do have all the hardware mounted, and what I'll do is show you lowering it down, and I'll run you by what I did here. So here we go. So what we see here, this is a cable that I'm going to use to pull this down to get it past its tipping point. Here we're going to lay it down. And what you're seeing here is the cable that I use to get it started, because when it's all the way at the top, you need it to start coming down so it can come down on its own weight. So this cable can extend to the ground, and then, you know, with the help of a wonderful, beautiful wife, it gives you a nice little tug at the end of the day. It gets it started going down, and then it's, as you can see, the cable is mounted right here. I have a little fixture there to keep that from sliding up the pole, and we're going to add a couple of clamps to it now that we've got the desired position for where it goes up. And you can see where I've hinged it up there. And then, as you can see, my pulley system at the top is what allows the cable to come down and not make contact with the pole as it goes down to my hand cranky winchy thing that we have mounted to the pole here via a little bit of welding action with my flux core wire and some scrap metal I had. And now pretty much we're ready for the antenna. That'll be part 3. Like I say, tomorrow is Sunday. We're going to play on 3-wheelers. I'll do a little video of some 3-wheeling tomorrow, and we'll have the other antenna up. The part 3, running coax and setting SWRs. So let me flip the camera around here. I'll do a crank up. I'll put it back in the air and I'll show you that. My lips are chapped. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to see. We're going to do a crank up. Down the foot there. As you can see, I want to do a couple of more minor adjustments, but that's okay. This is, you see the basics. I'm going to add a little bit more of that spacer block just to get this thing perfectly perpendicular to the pole. We're almost there. So I'll do that and we'll try that again. Alrighty, so here we are at I guess this will be the finished product. It's a part 2, part 3, and everything put together, because this is from if you watch the video, it was 2 weeks ago where I was putting the pole up, and then I did a part 2 last week, but I didn't get it all finished up, and I didn't like the finished product, and I had some people over here helping me today, and so I wasn't able to do much videoing because I didn't want to be on camera, and I can't blame them for that. So let me show you what the finished product is, and then we're going to I'm going to run through the frequencies, and we're going to see how this thing actually tunes out. And I used a quick go easy Amtron 99 just to get it up in the air, just to get this thing going. We're going to swap out to an aluminum antenna later on, because we're going to be, like I said in the beginning of the first video, we're going to be putting a different antenna on that big tower that's in the back. And I'll take if you watch the first video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let me flip the camera around real quick. All right, so old trucky, and so there's the pole. And all of a sudden, you got a bunch of people with pink hair like, "What pole?" I'm not assuming gender. All right, so there's the hinge plate, or the hinge bracket you see. And crazy as it sounds, I have a bunch of angle iron that's really big and thick, and I used that big piece of, if you watch the beginning of the video, you see where I had some pieces of pipe and it looked kind of stupid. I didn't like it. So I ended up swapping that out. Actually, I had a little bit of a mishap where some stuff happened off camera. But anyhow, we fixed it. And this is what we have now, and we've got we're right there at the around almost 60 foot. It's a 40-foot pole, 6 foot in the ground, and 20-something foot long piece of angle iron, and a little bit of extra there added to that gives us a pretty good little bit right there. So that's what it is. So that's just a good old-fashioned Amtron 99. It'll be just using a barefoot radio on this, and it'll do really well. And I'll show you, I've got my antennalyzer here and some nice, fresh, filtered well water. None of that bottled stuff. Let's see here. I gotta stop the camera so I can screw my SL239 coax in, and we'll run it through some frequencies there. All right, let's power this thing up here. Battery's getting kind of, all right, look at that right there. That is channel 24 or channel 20-ish. Somewhere right around in there, 1.0 SWR with a good, awesome, almost 50 ohm match right there. And I'll move this thing around, the whole thing. Let me see here. Let's go down to channel 1. Channel 1 on your CB radio is 269650, or 269665. I don't have the other 0 there, but we've got a 1. These MFJ things work pretty well, but they should have used a little bit more infinite potentiometer. But we're looking at a 1.0 match right there. That's just awesome. Let's see how far down it goes before it gets unusable. I've seen people running with 2.0, no problem, man. 2.0 is a little high, but that's actually a doable range. We're way below channel 1. On your CB band, and then the match is off a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. We're at a 50 ohm match, and we're getting on up in there. Look at that. 405, I think, is channel 40. I think. Looking really good, guys. So I call that a success. I mean, we can go. I can go up 28 megahertz plus right there and still be in a usable range. A match is off a little bit, but that's not a big deal. That's not the end of the world. Not if you're using just a stock radio. You're not going to have any trouble with that. So, yeah, let me I'll show you real quick the setup. Let me turn this back off. And like I say, we're using this crank. It's some good old-fashioned, just don't need much for cable. That's pretty strong stuff. Goes up to if you watch the beginning of the video, part 1, you can see how I did my pulleys. There's pulleys at the top of that right there. And that plate actually keeps water from getting at the top of that pole, so this pole lasts a long time. And it's an old pole that the power company laid down when they put some new power poles up. It's actually taller than that one, kind of funny as all get out. But anyhow, so let me flip us around. Thank you for tuning in to We'll Fix It Team. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Get the lighting right. Get the lighting. Let's look good. Look good for America. Look good for America. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm out. Bye.